Hello, this is AstroKrys from CodaQueenAstrology, and today's video is going to be on the new moon in Cancer. So I'm going to be forecasting using astrology, and also at the end of this forecast, I will be touching on human design. So if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment below. Let me know what you think about this video. I'd also like to invite you to my other social media platforms. You can check me out on IG Live, where I go live on a weekly basis and I host Ask the Astrologer segment. I also have a Facebook group where I do private lives and bring other spiritual guests and talk about all topics astrology, human design, hypnosis, etc. So if you're interested, the link will be in the description below. And if you're on Clubhouse, don't forget to say hi. I host weekly rooms there in the Astrology Club and the Astrology and Esoterica Club. So let's get started. The Cancer new moon is happening on July 9th, 2021. And as always, new moons bring new beginnings. And this is going to be in the energy of Cancer. So if you're not a Cancer zodiac sign, don't worry about that. We're all the zodiacs within. We all have this constellation affecting one of our areas of life, and that's represented by the houses. So if you don't know your natal chart, I do have a free birth chart calculator on my website. The link will be in the description below. All you need is your time of birth, date of birth, and place of birth. You type that in, you get a chart similarly looking like this, and it's going to give you your placements. So based on those placements, you'll see that the wheel has every zodiac sign. So even if you don't have any Cancer placements, because there's a new moon in the zodiac sign of Cancer, you would look at the house and see what area of life is getting a new start. So an example for me, I am a Leo rising, so Cancer rules my 12th house. So the focus is going to be on my 12th house and also my sun and my moon placements. So this forecast is going to be on the new moon that's happening in Cancer, and that's on the 9th. Now, new moons bring new beginnings, and with the energy of Cancer, this is the first water sign. It's cardinal water, it's nurturing water. So this is the energy of coming back to the heart. This is the energy of renewing our heart center and fostering those deep running emotions and feelings and intuition. Water rules intuition. So fostering all those things within us and starting anew. Now, the sun and moon are making applying opposition to Pluto, which brings in the mother and the father archetype. Now, Pluto, when aspecting the sun, is all about control. Now, this aspect only happens once a year, and that's when the sun is exactly in opposition to wherever Pluto is placed. Since Pluto's been in Capricorn for quite some time, for the past years, we've been having the sun and Pluto opposition between the cardinal signs of Cancer and Capricorn. And it's all about power struggles. It's all about balancing our inner state of being while working on releasing control, which is part of the Pluto archetype. So it's not an exact opposition. It is an applying opposition. Eventually the moon is going to oppose during the day the energy of Pluto. So it's something to mention. So we are going to feel some power struggles, maybe some fears come up, some unbalancing that needs to be tended to. Another aspect that I noticed that was quite strong was the applying trine that the sun and moon are making to Neptune. Now, not exact, about 5 degrees away, Neptune is in Pisces at 23 degrees, and there is a water trine there, emphasizing our intuition, talking about being able to follow our senses and work on trusting our intuition, work on nurturing ourselves, nurturing our body, and nurturing the ones that we love as well. Typically, this aspect brings a lot of comfort to the heart. It's a very supportive aspect. It brings bliss and compassion and unconditional love. So that is a aspect that I really like to see. Now, whenever Neptune does aspect the sun, it can soften the ego, because the sun is our ego and Neptune is boundless and doesn't care to be put on a pedestal or given too much attention. It likes to blend in and merge. So it is softer energy when it comes down to expressing the ego, which can also allow us to work on unbalanced ego, or things that are no longer serving us that we are expressing. We're able to release them during this trine with Neptune. And for those that have very strong earth emphasis in their chart, this energy might feel a little bit different and stranger because it is about trusting. Now, it is water, so it's going to mesh really well with your energy, but it's going to be a different style. The key to handling this energy is to learn to trust yourself more, to follow your intuition, to listen to your gut feelings and hunches, and also great time to develop these gifts further, because you're going to be tapping into this natural, intuitive knowing and sensing and feeling energy that Neptune strongly supports. It's also great for spiritual development and things of that sort. Now, another aspect that the moon and sun are making is a separating sextile to Uranus, which can also talk about downloads and information that's coming from the ethers and just different way of thinking. Now, it is a separating aspect, but worth the mention since it's only 4 degrees apart, in addition to having Venus forming a separating square. Venus is at 15 degrees and Uranus is at 14. So it is emphasized in the chart, that Uranian energy. Now, Venus has a separating aspect with both Saturn and Uranus, and she was the point in which Mars had already crossed and Venus kind of tailing at the tail end, reactivating this T square. So we've been experiencing this T square energy for since the beginning of the month, and Venus is at this point relieving that energy. So matters around money, love, the art industry, the fashion industry, especially because it's in the sign of Leo, drama, the film industry, the acting industry, and any persons ruled by Venus, like Libra ascendant, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, are really going to feel this transformation that Venus has gone through. Now, when Venus and Saturn are in communication, which they were, and it's a separating opposition, it's all about maturing ourselves, so grounding ourselves. Now, Venus in Leo is quite dramatic, and actually it's a very good placement for Venus because she's able to express her artistic abilities. But with the opposition to Saturn, something was holding back in the expression. And this could also be in regard to money matters, maybe the need or the want to buy more lavish things, and then Saturn energy pulling back, like, wait, do you have money for that, etc. Things that kind of come back and ground you. So Venus doesn't like that grounding. She wants to get what she wants to get. She wants to have what she wants to have. So in regard to love, now Saturn and Venus do get along. Saturn is actually exalted in the sign of Libra and does quite well in the zodiac sign of Taurus. So Venus and Saturn get along. So when we do see them in communication, it has mixed qualities in regard to how we see the expression, since both of these energies get along. And in opposition, it's just time to kind of hone in and weed out things that are hindering our development, because Saturn does rule our karmic development. So it's time to really look seriously within and see if we have patterns that we've developed in our relationships or our money habits or even our self-worth, so we can release those. Now, when Venus has communication with Uranus, then relationships can end very quickly, or you can actually start dating someone quite quickly. Now, the square does bring some tension, and it could be that maybe this person is not the typical person that you would date, or not the person that you would bring home to mom, etc. And you get some mixed qualities in regard to your romantic affair, or this new person that you are getting to know on a more sensual romantic level. So in regard to the magnetism and the attraction, it's quite strong, and I've seen this more than often whenever there is a Venus-Uranus activation. The relationship starts very quickly, very all of a sudden, but it can end the same way. So there's reasons why it could be that this relationship was just here to teach you something in regard to what type of relationship you don't want, what type of qualities you don't want in a relationship, or vice versa. What is it that you are looking for? And why is it that you were not looking for this before? So typically it does bring different type of people. Uranus rules eccentricity. Uranus rules thinking outside of the box, not following the normal, right? What we consider normal, not following that labeled path. These are people that are futuristic, that are standing oddly in the crowd, and don't like to conform. It's a rebel type of energy. And it might be a rebel person that you attract, person that you're intrigued by their thought process and things like that. So pay mind to that. Uranus is speaking quite strongly. And lastly, we have the Venus and Mars cycle. So we have two new cycles that are forming in this new moon in Cancer. The first one is the moon and the sun. And the second one is actually Venus and Mars. And Venus and Mars are the cosmic lovers. And naturally, the sun and the moon rule the home and children. And Venus and Mars rule the self and partnership. So matters around the home, children, self and partnerships are going to be renewed. And although Venus and Mars are not forming an exact conjunction during the new moon, they're eventually going to be forming this exact conjunction, forming a new cycle. It's a new love cycle. So these two meet up roughly about every 2 years. Venus catches up to Mars, and Venus is much faster than Mars. So eventually they meet up again, and Venus moves ahead of Mars and then kind of goes all around the zodiac, following him until she gets closer to him. And I like to label this cycle as the law of attraction cycle. These are the cosmic lovers, and Venus rules love, money, sensuality, but Mars rules action, sexuality, and passion. So when they come together and they're actually being reborn in the sign of Leo, which is all about romance, creativity, creation, the inner child. The zodiac sign of Leo rules the Dharma house, the fifth house of Dharma. And that house talks about what we create with our heart. It talks about our passions, our desires, our romantic streak. So again, Venus and Mars being born in a very passionate sign. Now, it is the sign of Leo, which the sun and the moon are also forming a new cycle. So the sun is actually ruling over Venus and Mars in this chart. So very interesting. I seem to be fascinated with the two new cycle energy that we are having here in the chart emphasized, because it does not happen often. The cycle that does occur once a month is the new moon. But this time around, we're also having another cycle being activated. Mars and Venus are also the most elevated planets. They are the ones that are high in the chart, and from the Los Angeles point of view, because this chart was casted in Los Angeles, the sun and the moon are also on the northern hemisphere. So again, emphasizing new beginnings that are seen, that are still being worked on. The sun is still stronger here, even though the moon is ruling over the sun. The sun is still stronger because the sun is in a visible place. Now, this new moon conjunction is happening a little bit before sunset. So the moon and the sun meet up right before the sun sets, which then from there, the moon will be the one that's stronger, because at sunset, the moon takes over and moon gets dignity. And because the moon is in the sign of Cancer, it will be stronger than the sun. So again, balancing the masculine and the feminine, going back to the home, nurturing those deep waters of Cancer and your lineage and your family line and your home line, because that is what Cancer rules. Everything that's deep, our history, our genealogy, and ultimately the way that we love others and the way that we want others to love us. Now, I am going to be talking about all the zodiac signs on my IG live, so join me live there. Well, I'll be talking about every specific zodiac sign, and you can also ask me questions as I answer questions from the audience. So I will see you there. This is a chance to get to actually ask me in a live, not a recording, about your chart, your zodiac sign, etc. So I will see you there. So that is all I wanted to talk about in regard to the astrology forecast. Let's go into a little bit of the human design part of this forecast. Now, for human design, the new moon is actually activating gate 53. So if you see the symbols over here on the right, you'll see that the sun is at gate 53.41 and the moon is also at 53.41. Now, this gate is the gate of new beginnings and expansion. This is the gate of starting something new. So it does connect to channel 42, and there's nothing connecting. Channel 42 corresponds to Aries, and the exact degrees that 53 gate in the sign of Cancer affects is 15:07, so 15 degrees with 07 minutes through 20 degrees and 45. And for the connecting channel, so if you have anything in Aries, like I have my Mercury in Aries, and I also have my midheaven in Aries. So if either planet or point is on Aries between 20 degrees 45 to 26 with 22, so 26 degrees with 22, then you have a connecting channel. And if it is a planet, it's much stronger. If it's the cusp of any of the major angles, that's also going to be strongly felt. Just say it's the cusp of the 8th house, it's not going to be as strong. However, I have noticed that it does seem to affect that house, so take note of it. Look at your chart, cast your chart, and see what you have between those degrees, and see how this is affecting you. But this new moon is super important because it's already activating the gate of starting new. And mind you, we always have a new moon in the sign of Cancer, but it doesn't always fall on this gate. It could fall on different gates. This time around, we're getting a double new beginning. The gate is about starting. It's about initiating. However, this is a generator channel, and the gate's also located in the root center. So it's about paying attention to the universal messages. It's about, before taking action, really planning through, really looking at the signs and taking action based on that information, based on whatever feedback the universe or people or just, synchronicities you felt to initiate. Now, the downside of this gate, or the shadow of this gate, is that because it is an initiating gate, you can initiate but too rashly, not thinking through, and then you're discouraged because what you planted, the seed that you were sowing, did not give fruit. So very important to step back and look at the clues and cues that the universe is sending you about what things need to be started. But this is a gate of getting started. I also want to bring it back to focusing on the moon. So the moon is about our emotions and our heart center, and it's the nurturing waters of life, the compassionate nurturing waters of life. This is the first water sign out of the triplicity. So I do want you to connect to your heart center, and during the new moon, really send gratitude and hold your intentions lovingly in your heart. I would even place my hand over my heart and just send gratitude to yourself, send gratitude to your loved ones and the universe. And slowly you will see that the next step will be revealed to you, that the universe will give you that message, that they'll give you the next step so you can start initiating. Now, from gate 53, which is the gate of development and starting something new, you connect to gate 42 in the sacral, which is the gate of increase. Now, the gate of increase is correlated to Aries between 20 degrees to 26 degrees, as mentioned before. So go to geneticmatrix.com. I'll have the link in my description below so you can cast your human design chart and see if you have any planets on this gate. Now, if you'd like to know if you have any other type of house cusps or your midheaven or ascendant, then you'll have to look at the mandala and pay mind to the lines that are connecting to the gates. So this channel, completed channel, is the channel of maturation. So if you're one of those that has this, either you have gate 42 activated and it's hanging during this new moon, the new moon will, the sun and the moon will complete this channel for you. Now, if you already have this channel completed, this will be re-emphasized. So these people that have this gate already activated in their chart, they're being called for. They're being called to do something new, to start something new, to take the next step. What is that? Is it you starting your own business? Is it you applying for a new job? Is it you collaborating with others? Is it you starting a new relationship? This is rooted in the root center. So I would like you to just pay attention to those messages and really journal on this, because it is a generator channel. So it's to respond to messages. But that doesn't mean you can't ask. You can ask and wait for the universe to answer you. Well, I really hope you enjoyed my forecast. This is the first time I do both the astrology and the human design combined. If this is something you like, comment below. Let me know if you would like me to continue doing this. I'm going to do this a few times to see the feedback I get, but I'm very excited to incorporate human design and astrology and prepare the forecast for you. Thanks so much for being here. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, and comment below. I answer and reply to all my comments. You could also check out these other videos. I'm pretty sure you'll like them. Thank you. Until next time, take care. Lots of love and abundance. AstroKrys.